Clash of Clans podcast, episode 97. Welcome back to the WBSMT studios. This is Scotty827 hanging out here with Murtaugh, aka Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon.
Welcome back, man. And
yes, it's been a long time.
Has it been? It's been what? Was it a week and a half?
Yeah, it's been like 10 days.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Feels like forever.
Well, we planned on this week, and I'm sorry, you guys, about that. To the guest this week, Megan Mo Money. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going? Great to be here.
Thank you for being here. And Potter.
What's up, guys?
Welcome to the podcast. Sorry, I was not feeling well last week. Now we're finally here. That's why it didn't feel that long. So welcome back. What's going on this week? What's happening with your Lethal?
I went out and was like kind of just getting feelers of who people wanted on the podcast, and I actually had several people ask for Megan. And I was like, now guys, you realize you can't see her, right? Like, we're just going to be talking to her. And they were like, yeah, that's awesome. So they kind of just had the same interest that I did. Just a day in the life of Clash, of a, not just a girl, but, like a really attractive girl. I guess that's not the common thing. It's not a commonplace for girls, period. To get into this game that I've seen, it seems like everybody I talk to is guys. So I just thought it'd be interesting to have you on. And then Potter, of course, It's always fun having his crazy ass on. So.
And
this is my first time on
really
the L
good
podcast.
Clasher, right? A really good clasher. Not just a female. Okay, boys, grab your trapper keepers. Everybody, let's calm down. I mean. A really good clasher. Because where are you from, Megan? I mean, what's your history in the game? What do you do?
Well, I started off about 2 years ago in a clan that basically just mostly people I knew in real life, and we weren't on that level. We were pretty serious about the game. Like, we tried to win wars and stuff, but I was with them for about maybe 8 months or so after Clan Wars had started, and at that point I was already Town Hall 10 because I never really wore it at Town Hall 9 because Clan Wars came out, and I went to Town Hall 10 like about a month after, so and it was a little bit rushed. I had the purple walls, I had like 20 heroes or some shit. But
Scotty still has those heroes.
Yeah, I did upgrade my walls, Hey there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you've been playing for a long time, right?
Oh yeah. And definitely.
What made you download the game?
Well, I was actually it was a boyfriend of mine that I had, and he was always playing, and he said, "Hey, you want to try this?" And then I did, and I ended up, he actually ended up getting kicked from the clan we were in for poor performance. So, it was a weird situation. He actually ended up quitting the game altogether. But
my gosh.
And so you started warring. Where are you at now? You're serious war. You're still 10 or 11?
Right. Still 10. So let me start back from when I finally made the decision to leave this clan of people that I knew. I went to a clan that I met one of my cousins at like a family reunion type of thing, and he was only 16 years old, but I had actually never met him before. I think he's like a half cousin or something, but he had referred me to Jedi Extreme Clan, which is like one of the clans from the Jedi family. They're a moderately serious war community. They don't, they use Google Hangouts to communicate, and they try to skitch and strategize, but they don't really do the team speak, and not everyone's active. It's like one of those clans where you got like half and half. You have like half the people that are like really enthusiastic and they're willing to put in the time and effort to learn and get better. And then the rest of the people are kind of like, they just show up and attack whenever. So that's what really made me want to move on. And I had been watching, Jake's videos, all kinds of YouTube videos, power bang especially as well. And finally, I just decided, like, once I started being able to consistently perform well in wars, I decided that, like, it was time for me to apply. And I did. It took about, like, 6 days or so. And, I started off in 1 Hive Prime and then moved to 1.0. And now I'm kind of more back and forth just because,
were you doing that as
depends
a 10?
on who's doing the arranged. Yes.
You were performing consistently as a 10?
Not 3-star. No, not 3-starring. At this point in time,
I'm wondering because I'm like, where were your heroes?
Right.
Because I wouldn't know what that. I
was
know what that means.
3540. Well, when I applied, I was 3540. I had 40 queen. As far as consistently back at that, what's up?
You put in some work then on those heroes in that period of time.
Oh yeah, big time. I farmed like 15 levels of my queen in 3 weeks, doing the super queen farming. Same thing as Potter. Potter did the same thing before the first HoustonLive event, I think.
Yeah,
I went from 15 to 30-30s.
Right. Yeah.
4 weeks.
You did what? 15 to 15?
Went from 15-15 to 20. Or sorry, I went from 15-15 to 25-25 in 4 weeks. And then after HoustonLive, I spent like another 2 more weeks and had 30-30s.
Yeah.
Well,
the grind is real, but it was easier back then.
So much easier.
Update.
I know. And I just hit 30-30, and now I'm really thinking. Because like we were talking beforehand about Tate saying, now from 30 to 40 is as much DE as the first 30 levels. And now post-update, I'm like... That's how I feel. That's what I feel.
Oh yeah, it's a grind for sure. That I personally feel like the way to do it is farming the bonus in champs. Like I try to stay in I don't really farm anymore, but I would try to stay in like champs 3.
You
so where you're still getting the rush 10 bases. No, I'm max except for walls. I've like mostly lava walls, some Legos.
How about you, Potter? Where are you at?
I just rolled to Town Hall 10, so I've got like a couple of the new buildings like down. I've gotten all my new walls are purple. I'm starting to get those up to skulls, but I think I've been Town Hall 10 for like 6 or 7 days. But I've got 30-30 heroes. I've fully completed 9, except for like I think I have 40 something Legos left. So,
do you want to give everybody the history of your game? I know we're kind of rushing all over here, but I think this is going to blend in the later part of the game, your story and Megan's story.
Right.
Sure.
So,
I had a buddy of mine who he was playing Clash, and he was like, "Hey, download this game." So I did. I didn't really get into it very much. I thought it was pretty boring. It was just popping bubbles and collecting resources or whatever. But so he decided that he wanted to start a clan. I was like, okay, cool. So we started Dark Cloud because it's a group that we're all members of out at the Renaissance Festival. So we just got all of our buddies to, download the game and found a bunch of people who were already playing, and we all just created Dark Cloud Clan. And I didn't really get too into it that much until I got to like Town Hall probably 6, I guess, but I like rushed there. Then I started watching videos and found out like that there was this really awesome community, and that if you really wanted to, you could play it like pretty competitively. So I started getting more into the game, and eventually found like Jake's channel along with couple other people, and this was like last January, so I've only been playing for 13 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So I consider myself a pretty relatively new Clasher, especially if you look at like how far I've come in a year.
Right.
I'm no shy to run my card and gem my hero time.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I was going to ask that when you said the 15 and 15,
yeah, I
to 30.
I don't play Clash of Clans with heroes down. That's not a thing that exists in my world. Like, no. I don't even consider putting my heroes down until I have a Google Play card in my hand so that I can gem my hero back up.
Yep.
That's kind of where I'm. No, I'm trying not to. I'm still, well, yeah, obviously. I'm my 30 heroes. I'm huge on the, I'm grinding. I don't know what I'm doing wrong in this game. To get
But
the
from
heroes.
there,
You're getting there. Getting there.
Yeah.
But from there, I found Jake's channel, started watching One Hive raids, and then started warring. And I wanted to, war more competitively. So when I became a Town Hall 8, my buddies weren't really all that into the game as much as I was. I was kind of an addict, I guess you could say. And I applied for One Hive Genesis. I spent about a month there, I want to say, over the summer. And by the time I had gotten in, I was pretty much a max Town Hall 8 because I had to wait like a month after I applied, which really sucked because I was constantly having to check my email address, which I never do. I think I made an email account just to apply because who the hell uses email anymore? But I was there for like a month, and I like missed one war attack one day because I passed out drunk and got kicked out, and then talked my way back in. And then like I went to a party with a bunch of people, and they just didn't feel like I was a good fit. I think they wanted me to be a little bit more serious than I was. And One Hive Genesis is no joke. Those guys are like hardcore to the letter serious, even more so than I think One Hive and One Hive Prime are.
I think so too.
They are very, very serious about what they're doing over there. But they've got the war record to back that up, so they're not doing anything wrong by any means. But after I left there,
like, you mean how it's run? Like,
yeah. Because of the popularity of Jake's channel, One Hive doesn't have any problem trying to recruit members. They have a list of people waiting to get in, so they really get to pick and choose who they want to be there. And if they don't feel like you're a good fit, then they just move on to the next person. And I felt like that's kind of how I was treated in Genesis anyways. But I don't want to I still love those guys. They're awesome players. I'm still friends with a lot of them. I still talk to them. So no bad blood there at all. But I understand what they were doing. But from there, I kind of traveled, and I went and visited a whole bunch of other clans. That's how I met Jamel and D Devastation. Went over there and hung out with them. But pretty much after I left Genesis, I went Town Hall 9. And then through that and my time in One Hive, I met Warren, and Warren and I were able to put the groundwork down for HoustonLive. And I pushed real hard through Town Hall 9 to get set up for that. And then,
so what is HoustonLive? Fill everybody
HoustonLive. Okay, what is HoustonLive and what are the live events, I guess? Because we kind of spawned this crazy thing with HoustonLive. The idea behind HoustonLive is let's take the digital media out of Clash of Clans and meet these voices or these text messages or whatever on the other side of these screens. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to create a venue where people in a local area could get together that all shared the same passion for a video game, and we could actually meet each other, hang out, and share our nerd with each other. Because very rarely do you just bump into somebody out in the world who's a hardcore clasher. So you don't ever really, anytime you want to interact with people that like Clash of Clans, you have to log into Clash of Clans, and then you got to sit there and type and text or use TeamSpeak or whatever. But you don't ever get to shake their hand or buy them a drink or, sit down and have dinner and, actually have a discussion back and forth. So what I wanted to do is create an event where clashers could get together and we could just break down all of those barriers and just sit in the same room, have some beers, and then also have a war in the background. And so from that, we did HoustonLive, which I still thank Jake, because if he hadn't made his video, we never would have gotten the type of response that we ended up getting. Because I think we had, what was it, Megan, 20 people that were going to come. And then overnight, it was 90 after Jake dropped that video, just because we didn't have any media outlet to get the information out there. And so when Jake published his video, then it was, my phone just went nuts. People wanting wanting to come and join and be a part. So it really, but that has spawned, like, I think there's San Francisco, Seattle, Chicago, Orlando, Denver, are all planning live events. I'm planning another live event for August in Twin Cities. That's the next one.
I will
know
be there
for a fact. I will be able to go to.
I will be there.
I know
sure.
Megan and these guys are already planning another. That we just had HoustonLive 2 this last Saturday. I wasn't able to make it, but they're already planning another Texas Live. I think they're talking about changing cities, maybe doing Austin or Dallas.
Austin or Dallas. We think it'd be fun. We basically, a lot of the people were the same ones at the second one, and after getting a feel for them, like, we start to get to know each other better. They're we all are basically committed. We're ready to go. We're ready to do another one whenever. So. But it's time to do it somewhere, else, like try something new.
How'd it go? What happened? I mean, like, what was cool? What
with the first one or the second one?
Well, either. Which, I mean, like, what were some good memories of putting the stuff together?
Jake's belly button live on Twitch.
Yes. I mean, I learned a lot from the first one. Like, I learned not to take the war too seriously. I think me and Zach especially had went into it kind of like with a really serious mentality. And, we spent a lot of time planning. I wasn't even drinking until the end of it because I was like, oh, I don't want to be drunk and fail, But, yeah. So for the second one, all that went out the window.
Oh my God! You should have seen her after she got her attacks in. Though that bitch just sat at the bar like, shots. Come on, more shots.
Oh yeah, I had to catch up.
Keep them coming. She'd spent so long. They literally sat at the table, and it was all of the Town Hall 10s. Like, they had their own table where they were all sitting down, like, planning out their strategies and their attacks and stuff. And it was kind of cute because everybody else was like floating around them and not wanting to interrupt or like looking over their shoulders. I think Acrazine was over there with you guys for a little while too, just, being another voice. And I mean, just getting to meet all of these, like all these names that you hear or have seen, or have seen in videos and stuff like that, just getting to meet the people on the other side of the tablet. I think that was the thing that I loved the most, was like actually getting to put faces with names.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
It sounds so, like, I can't even imagine that kind of atmosphere. It sounds ridiculously fun.
It was. The second one was almost even better too, because most people already knew each other. So, like, you didn't have that kind of like awkward, like, oh, do I want to approach these people? I don't know them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't really, we were all just like mingling. We didn't have any like, we had tables, but everyone was like interchangeable, like back and forth. Like,
did you call everybody by in-game names?
Oh, please tell me you did.
People,
like, for sure.
Certain people.
Well, when I went to, I hung out with Mailman. I went and had dinner with him and Phantom Warlord and Boaz down in the cities. And then we went to 50 Shades of Wait's baseball game and Papa Peacock's baseball game together. And I called him MM all day.
It makes sense. I mean, everyone called Potter. Yeah. Everyone called Skish. Everyone called Master Wheat. I didn't learn his name until the second one, until I finally asked. Like, so there's definitely a lot of people. I think mostly the people that have their name as their IGN, like, got called by their name, like, me, Jake, Ivan, just to name a few. But
yeah, the first one, we
not
put
like
everybody, we gave everybody a
like
name
that.
tag with their IGN on it. Like, we gave them their name tag, had their in-game name on it. Like, so just so we could recognize who they were.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah. How would you be able to tell? Except for, it would really suck if your name was like Heart. Like some of those things you see now, it's like, how do you pronounce that on a name tag? Hey, you.
Emoji, asterisk, what?
Yeah, what, huh?
Or we've got like York Hunt. He just joined from Quantum 3. That would be funny. Hey, York Hunt, what's up, buddy? Hey.
Oh, okay. His name is York.
York Hunt. And then Hunt. York and then Hunt, yeah.
And it took me a while. I was like, what? Oh. But Well, that's awesome. So it's coming all around, though, huh? That'd be awesome to do in the cities.
Yep, I've got one of my co-leaders from Dark Cloud. He lives in St. Paul. I normally stay at his house during the Rent Fair season. He's already starting to look into venues and stuff like that, and so he'll be helping me try to coordinate things up there, because I've kind of got to do everything from afar, because I'm literally like coming into town that weekend to do the event, and then I'll be there for like another 8 weeks afterwards working the Renaissance Festival. But the weekend before, I'll still be in Colorado working the Colorado Fair. So like I can't like get there and then
what do you
lay
do
the
in the
groundwork
Renaissance
down.
Festival?
I would do animal rides. So right now I'm at the Sherwood Forest Fair, and I'm in charge of the camel ride. And then at Scarborough, I push a giant swing. And then Colorado, Minnesota, and Texas Renaissance Festival in Houston, I am an elephant loader. So I put people on and take people off the elephant ride.
So how do you get your clashing in? Like, do you do it in between elephant rides?
I don't do it on the weekends. That's when I get it in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't clash. I try to get like a couple farming attacks in at night, but I'm usually just super beat because I got to wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning to go clean up after the animals, and then I have to work all day long, and then at the end of the day I have to clean up after the animals and feed them and make sure that they're taken care of. And I'm just so beat and worn out, I just go to bed most of the time or go get really drunk.
Which animal do you like the most?
Okay, so
Which animal do you hate the most? No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to answer that.
The animal that
Which
I hate
animal's the
most,
biggest asshole?
animal that I hate the most is Rocco the camel. He tried to buck my girlfriend off of him on Friday,
yeah, that's right.
and she has like a super huge bruise on her side. And then he tried to grind her into a tree to get her off his back. So him and I aren't friends anymore. The animal that I like the most, there's two of them. Toby is a 3-year-old camel, and he's just a super sweetheart. And then Chrissy is the 9,000-pound female elephant that we have, and she is a sweetheart too. Paige, however, is an asshole. Paige sucks.
Do you think she's a little self-conscious that she's known by her weight? The 9,000-pound elephant? I mean, to talk about a lady
She's
like
the
that.
biggest one.
Oh, okay.
Chrissy's the biggest one. She's the heaviest one. Paige is the tallest, but Paige actually one time ground one of my friends into the ground and then stepped on him.
Oh.
She's kind of mean.
You don't clash, can't do it during the day, just the weekends?
I can't really afford to clash during the week or on the weekends, but I don't work Monday through Friday, so I clash really, really hard for like 5 days, and then I have to take 2 days off.
What does your day in clash look like, Megan?
I have a kind of similar
want to ask
schedule
you
in a
that.
way. I have a pretty similar schedule. It's tough for me on the weekends being a bartender. I'm always working Friday, Saturday night. So, when I'm in arranged wars on the weekends, I tend to, pull all-nighters, and, I get off work from bartending, and then I'll, have to see where the war is going. I have to help people with plans. I have to get my own plans going, get the scouts going, start directing traffic. And then before I know it, it's like 1 o'clock and the war's ending in like 3 hours. And I'm like, well, I don't really have time to sleep now. So might as well just finish it out. But that's usually what happens to me. I mean, I do work during the week too, but it's usually like Tuesday, Thursday night. So I have a lot of time like Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. And even then, like during the weekdays, it's not too bad. I'm only working like 8 hours, and I'm usually up pretty late even after I get off work. And then, obviously I don't go in work till like 8 p.m. So
are you coordinating the wars?
Yeah. Well, I'm a war general in both clans. So we kind of have a war general team in 1.0 now. It wasn't working just having everything on one person, especially like they need people to do the overnight shift, if you want to say, because we have
what is this?
People.
Like, explain this, because I haven't heard this, honestly. I don't know.
Right. Well, we have like international people. So the issue that we were having in the past is that I'd get off work. There would be no one to answer any questions about who to hit, like especially as far as Town Hall 10s go. As far as Town Hall 9s, it's not as big of an issue because they can kind of hit wherever. But with 10s, like you kind of, you need permission, you need to get approval, you need to get scouts in some situations. So, there was no directing going on between about, and this is a rough estimate. It was different every weekend, but maybe from like 1 a.m. to like, say, 7 a.m. Like that's a pretty big gap where like not a lot would go on. Like there were times when I would basically like I would get off work and nothing had even changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
there's a lot of people backed up with plans and asking who to hit, and there was no one answering really.
You had to every plan has to get approved. Is that, am I assuming?
Well, it's just best to be honest. Like not only does it need to, it's not like a formal approval process, but the way it goes is, especially now we've been pushing for Town Hall 10s to plan early. We want plans in the first few hours. We want to get scouts going in the first few hours. That way, 10s can start hitting early. You don't want this chaos at the end of the war where you have 2 hours left and say, 10 Town Hall 10 attacks.
I know the chaos well. Let me ask you this though. So you're saying like you want Town Hall 10s to come up with their plans first, like in the first couple hours, and then you want, and then based on their plans, you're having people go in and scout for their plans?
Yep. We do that simultaneously while clearing the 9s. Like basically any 9 can hit, whenever they want, really. We kind of like them to hit within the first 16 hours of war. But obviously, we kind of track, the number of scouts that we've been having left over. And honestly, typically it's usually over 10. So rather than having them wait till the end to scout these plans, and then by that point, sometimes, the Town Hall 10s didn't have plans ready and they would have to go over them. And the amount of time that it was taking was leaving us no time to actually use the information we gathered from the scout. So that was the main issue. And then if the scout doesn't go well, sometimes you need a second one. And so it's best to get them going as early as possible. So that's what we've been working on. If we can get, even a couple scouts going so we can kind of see, if plans are going to work, you know what I mean? That way we can kind of move on to another base,
So how does the war generals work then? Are you saying you direct? So people are waiting, basically kind of for approval, but do you have people you're counting? I mean, how are you directing?
I think I've got a good viewpoint on this one because at one point I was assigned to Megan when I was in One Hive. They were like, just Potter, just ask Megan what she wants you to do. And what Megan would do is Megan would have a Town Hall 10 attack that was planned out, and she would go, okay, Potter, this is what I want you to do. I want you to queen walk this way. I want to know how many rages you're going to need. I need, how much DPS are you going to run into? How is she going to path? Is that funnel going to work? How many troops are going to be needed to create that funnel? And then, pass or fail or whatever happens, she could then take that information from my Town Hall 9 attack and then give it to a Town Hall 10 and then let them go in with heavier heroes, better troops. And then by the information she got from my scout, then she was able to give that information to those 10s so that they could adjust if need be on their plan, or if their plan was complete crap, come up with a new one.
Right. We're pretty much like the war generals are almost a little bit like of a middleman type of thing. Like basically the process is, Town Hall 10s will post their plans. All the other Town Hall 10s and 11s will help out. They'll give feedback. Once we get a plan finalized, we'll go through it with a scout. Now, depending on what we need at that time in the war, we will actually run the full plan. At certain times in the war, we will run it for 2 stars. Like we might run the Queen Walk portion, but then use dragons to get the Town Hall, or use golems and P.E.K.K.A.s to get the Town Hall, or you know what I mean? Like where sometimes you got to secure that 2-star. Especially once you already have all the air traps. Like the first scout might get all the air traps, and that's all you really needed. So you don't need to see the air portion again, really. So usually if we do a second scout, it's going to be for the 2 stars. Also, basically, once you have the plans set, I put scouts in touch with Town Hall 9s, based on their availability. And people don't necessarily have to get approval, and we try to give people instructions before we're going to be leaving. Like, for example, if I'm about to head to work, I might say like, I'll talk to the other war generals. We do have our own chat, but I might say something like, this is where we're at right now. We have 12 nines left to clear. We have 22 attacks left. I say if any of the Town Hall 10s have a plan, I say we can afford maybe like 5 scouts right now. So go ahead and allocate those as they become available and as they become ready to use them, really. And then basically that's how it'll work. We're still working on getting 10s to hit a little bit earlier. People tend to wait until the Sunday, around noon or so. And it's like, it's helpful if people can hit a little bit earlier, definitely. But we've been moving towards that. And that's really the key, I think, is especially for when you have Town Hall 11s involved. Now that Town Hall 11s are involved, you can't really have 10s waiting till the very last minute. I mean, it's always good to have a couple of tags in the bag, especially if you might need percent or, something like that. But at the same time, like, you need to give your 11s time to plan too. So.
Not me. I can easily plan my 0 star, which has been happening a lot lately. Have you? I've been having a rough time. Has anybody else been noticing rough times in wars now?
Oh yeah,
things changing. What's been going?
We have been getting wrecked by Town Hall 11s. They'll clear most of us. I actually was a guest in the war against Emphatic Elite versus War Whales. We got annihilated. They cleared. It was 3 Town Hall 11s and like 10 Town Hall 10s, 3 Town Hall 11s, I think. Something around there. And they cleared all of our 10s except for myself and Mang, I believe. So it was basically only 2 Town Hall 10s like left standing. And most of them were done by 11s, but they did have, some of our lower 10s, they definitely did 3-star with their Town Hall 10s. But they just killed it. It's kind of like a lot of a war is decided by the Town Hall 11 dips. If you have a lot of failed dips and their 11s bring it, like, you will lose.
Dips?
What's that?
You mean like going down low?
Come down the map.
Right. Like a bully.
Yeah, Town Hall 11 hitting Town Hall 10.
Town Hall 10.
Okay. Well, so are you guys having like the 10s go up to the 11s?
Well, we have the 10s 2-star 11s. When we can, we have 9s 2-star 11s. We have a few people that are very specialized at it, and depending on the base, we have Town Hall 9s that can 2-star the 11s. If not, we have our Town Hall 10s with lower heroes do it, because ideally you want to save the 40-40 attacks for 3-star attempts on Town Hall 10s. So we try to have our lower hero Town Hall 10s 2-star the 11s. But lately with the update and the Eagle doing 3 times damage to golems, depending on the base, we have to have there's times where you need an 11 to hit an 11 for 2 stars, and it sucks, but it is what it is. It's all about the base. Did
you feel like right before then it was, you know what? The game was probably balanced. Like, you could actually 3 everything. I mean, I thought like maybe with that Warden, before the Golem thing, it was you'd see 3-star 11s. Well, yeah. I guess in our wars.
Yeah, definitely. If there's certain bases that are at Town Hall 11 that were definitely vulnerable to the 3-star, even by Town Hall 10s, but for the most part, I think with the meta changing and Town Hall 11s are learning what they need to do to be able to defend the 2-star against the Town Hall 10. So it becomes more of a problem.
Yeah. It's been rough for me. I got to tell you, it's been very challenging.
It's hard. A lot of people are still working out Town Hall 11, and some people have gotten it a lot quicker, which makes it really difficult.
Yeah. Lethal, you have some questions?
No, I'm really just taking notes. This is really interesting about the scouting process. It seems like, I don't know if we're just a little behind on that, but actually using like part of the strat that you want to use in the final attack in the actual scout. That was really interesting. That's not something that we're doing, but we're definitely
it's really
going
key,
to start implementing that.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. It's really key, like when you don't know how many Town Hall 9 attacks you're going to have, and depending on how many Town Hall 10s are in the war, it's really key to try to lock in those 2-stars, but get more than just a 2-star out of it. Because if all you're getting is Tesla locations and the CC, it's not telling you enough of what you need to get the 3-star on a really good anti-3, fresh meta base. You're not going to be able to get all the information you need just from someone, kind of sniping the town hall and doing some creative things for percent on the outside, like Town Hall 9s usually do to get the 2-star. You're not going to get enough from that. So you've got to try to incorporate some type of walk or, something. And maybe you might not need the air scout, but,
Here's where I see it as a problem for L, maybe. And maybe it's the same in your clan. But I think it would be a little tricky I don't think anybody in L really wants to do a scout unless it's like a scout for like them trying their attack. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants to like hit for the 3-star. And so I'm not sure, like, if you were going to go up, I think if you had like a buddy, which I think we talked about at one time, if you could scout it, with, I want to hit with witches. I don't know. Is that the type of thing? Like, would it work? Kind of?
Go to Jake's channel and watch his Death of a Town Hall 10 videos, and it explains this exactly on how many different times, because you'll see 3 different attacks with the exact same opener. It's just what takes place in the back end and what tweaks need to be made in order to actually get the 3-star. And that's what they do. And that's what, and One-Hive's really, really good at it. But they will use, and the key is, and this is where I think we struggle in L, is that One-Hive can trust that the 9s are going to get cleared by 9s. And sometimes that's not the case in L. We have to have 10s come down and get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been struggling on that here lately.
It's weird. Right. Here's what I'd say about that is it does flux, and maybe Mert, correct me if I'm wrong. We go through these periods where it's just like it's really good. It's like coming up, and then all of a sudden we have to remind, like here's how we're going and kind of go back through. I don't know. Am I wrong? Like
the same thing happens to us.
Does it?
The same thing happens to us for sure. There was a when we warred EE about maybe 6 weeks ago or so, we actually didn't clear the 9s. We had to dip. And so it's kind of like a wake up call. Whenever you get that, you got to get a little bit more strict. You got to start enforcing planning. Like we don't really kick too much based on performance. It's more about effort. So if we see people that are getting on TeamSpeak and they're posting their plans in GroupMe and they're getting feedback and they're putting their full effort in, then that's what we try to enforce. We're not like, oh, you didn't get 3 stars, so you're kicked. But it's definitely, you start to notice people that aren't posting plans, that aren't asking anybody questions, that aren't trying to improve and get better. And those are the ones that tend to be the ones not 3-starring. So
it's probably
what we've noticed is we had this area where our warlog was just super green, and that's what it was. It was like every attack, everybody was on TeamSpeak. Well, you got this whole group of 9s that all went to 10. Myself being one of them, and it's like that group has now moved on. So we're still doing that, but it's like now the new crop of 9s. You only have a small percentage of them that have kind of taken over, and it's like now you see the green log, the warlog is not getting as green, and that's something that we've been discussing is we're going to have to get back. Like I've made it a personal effort of mine to help with the 9s now. Like I can still, even though I'm not a 9, I can still scout with them. So I've made an effort to tell everybody, like, I'm available. Yes.
You, as a new 10, right, or as a 10, well, a maxed hero 10, right? Do you think, like, after leaving 9, you start to lose the perspective on it? Because I felt that with 8,
you do
going
definitely
to
to some extent, for sure.
And I think,
for sure, every time you go up a town hall level, you kind of forget how, like what your troops, because all your troops are different levels now, and you kind of have to readjust, because when I first started going to 10 and I first started adapting, it was really hard for me to look at a 9, just because it's not the same. You don't have max golems; they're not taking up the same amount. And you start looking at every 9 like it's a 10 attack. But I don't know. I don't know if it's been playing on my mini more, but I don't know. I feel I've kind of gotten it back now to where I can sketch out attacks.
Do you have a mini, Megan?
I do. It's a Town Hall 7. I made it just really as a placeholder because there were times I needed to be like 2 places at once, especially with everything I'm involved in Prime. I kind of need to be in 2 places. So I made it originally for that. But since I stopped farming my main, I farm on that. And I'm kind of trying to get to like Town Hall 8. Maybe I can get in some wars. But it's definitely not my priority right now.
Potter? I mean, well, because I'm asking a little bit for perspective. Because, I mean, it probably gives you a little bit of perspective on the game a little bit lower in a war, or no?
Well, being that it's Town Hall 7, it really doesn't give me anything I can use as far as, us being a kind of Town Hall 9, 10 only clan. It doesn't really give me exactly what I need, but I've definitely had many failed farming raids because, like, these little level 4 giants won't do what I want them to do, and they won't, they won't take as much as I think they're going to, but yeah, it's definitely hard. And it's really hard for me to play with my 9s because I never really warred at Town Hall 9 ever. So it's not even like I can go back to it. I have no experience warring at Town Hall 9. I learned from their attacks, from watching them in war with them. And I try to help as much as I can, but I'm kind of useless when it comes to Town Hall 9 planning.
My second account's name is Britney Spears, and she doesn't have Expos yet, but it's learning TH9 attacks because I wasn't able to do it in war.
Right.
Well, I had a question. So, Megan, are you feeling any frustration being a 10 and just still kind of, it seems like even after the update, Town Hall 10 is still kind of like this no man's land where it's like you really don't know your place in war. And it's like if you don't get that high percentage 2 on an 11 or you don't pull off a triple, it's like, I don't know. I know it's me. I just feel like a failure, and it's really taken its toll on me. Have you felt any of that?
I definitely know where you're coming from. I definitely know where you're coming from because, like, going back to what, when you asked about what is consistent performance at Town Hall 10, when I first joined, consistent performance was if you could get high 2 stars on 10s, then that was good. They needed that. That was valuable. You know what I mean? Because that was before we had Town Hall 11. So you would have the 3-star guys do that, and then you'd have other 10s that would just 2-star the 10s, like the high 10s. And that was okay. And that's where I was at before I came to One Hive. But now, yeah, you're right. There's not much of a place for 10s to be 2-starring 10s, depending on if you have, how many Town Hall 11s you have in the war. Ideally, the top 10s are going to be dipped on by the 11s. So basically, you have your 11s hitting the enemy's top 10s, and you have your 10s hitting the enemy's low 10s. And then you have, but I guess one thing that you have to do is you have to see the value in getting like that 99%. Like that's one thing that I've had to learn. It happened to me just at HoustonLive. It happened to me in the war against Savage Sleuths. It came down to it, and you get these 95% plus 3 stars at Town Hall 10, and it's frustrating. But when you have another Town Hall 10 that can come in and get that 3-star just by adding a couple minions or something like that, to cut down on the time, like, then you have to learn how to take satisfaction in that. You have to learn how to take satisfaction in the end result. And I think that that's what Potter was bringing up with the Death of the Town Hall 10 videos. If you watch those, it's not just Town Hall 9s, it's also Town Hall 10s that are also typically involved. It usually takes more than one Town Hall hit on it, to be honest.
I know. I usually take a lot of pride in my 24% on a TH10. On the first swing. No, I think what Mert's talking about, because I'll say this, Mert, because sometimes, Mert, you haven't 3-starred or put a star on, or put the 1-star on, maybe, but you had a lower percentage. But yeah. I gotta say something. When I see your attack with like a percentage like that, I know it's not for lack of trying. It's like it just did not go right.
Right. Yeah. And part of that's from your lack of scouts.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's like a Town Hall 9. It's like if you put in the hours, you were going to get the result. Not 100%, but pretty damn close. And it's like that's what you're used to. And then you come up, and it just, even though you were part of the cog that maybe helped you win the war, but it's like now I'm putting in more work than I ever did at Town Hall 9. And then, that one piece of the plan that was half a tile off, and the whole thing goes to shit. And it's just like,
that's why.
Oh my God!
You realize why we were all standing up there daring you to come on up?
Yeah.
Come on.
Thanks.
Come on. You want to come on up?
But
play with the big boys?
I've actually pushed the button to go to 11. I'm going to be max Town Hall 10, within 2 months, and that's including walls and everything.
You're finally doing it,
I've got like 8 days left. I really think that even in the 3-star game, I don't know. I think 11 is more balanced than 10 is. Even after the buff.
I have to disagree with you. I think 11 is balanced.
I might be saying you're right.
I have to agree that
you don't even think verse 11.
It's like, no,
I mean, you don't even think verse 11s.
I have yet to see a Town Hall 11 versus Town Hall 11 3-star in a range war of top fair play.
Yeah, like an anti-3. Wow.
It's not a place for it right now, because right at this point in time, I guess maybe it's just the wars that I've seen, but the 10s aren't clearing all the 10s. So it makes no sense for an 11 to 3-star an 11 when there's, it's kind of like a 10 going for 3 stars on a 10 when you have a 9 that
when
needs a dip.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, like in the last war I was in with Elle, I was like, I could probably go low and at least try for 3-star on this 10 and probably get it with my lore heroes. But I don't trust myself against an 11. It's weird. It's a weird world now with
right.
I do have to say, I do kind of feel stupid because I feel like I've been waiting this whole time for Supercell to bring some balance to 10. And it looks like, I know I've said this before, I know I've said this on a podcast before, but it looks like it is coming in the relatively near future, maybe a couple months with the addition of the new troop. So I do feel kind of dumb going to 11 now.
I think
it could definitely use some more offense for sure.
I think Supercell did something really interesting that I'm not sure people really quite recognize yet, is that they did Town Hall 11, and for some reason in the last 6 months, there's been so many people who've moved so quickly through Town Hall 10 when it's been a year and a half, or like 2 years hanging around there. And it's been a smooth, quick transition, like right through. And it's possible. All of a sudden it was possible to farm that. It's a little weird. It's very impressive.
What I found real interesting, though, is that, so they came out with Town Hall 11, and, you get a new Wizard Tower and a Wizard Tower level and another Expo and the Grand Warden. But for the hype that they did, like, there really isn't a lot of content. Like, there are fully maxed Town Hall 11s a month later. How long did it take Tate? I think Tate went to 11 as soon as they dropped it, and then a month later he was fully maxed. DP's fully maxed. Like, they didn't actually release a whole lot of content. They just bumped a couple of things,
but if you look at
it's really not.
You got to look at the history, though.
But
you got to look at the history. Every time they knew a Town Hall 10, or a new Town Hall. I mean, they just release a few things in the beginning, and then as more updates come out, they'll release more. I mean, I'm sure there's a ton more coming for 11. They just don't do it. I mean, isn't that right, Scotty, with Town Hall 10? I mean, they only released the same thing. They just did a few new things, and then over the next 4 or 5 updates, you kept getting new things.
Well, no.
So I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more.
Level. I think Town Hall 11 is going to even out a little bit. I thought it was a little bit better before. I don't know. I thought the update was pretty good for most things. It's just
they needed a troop that really would have rounded a lot of things out. It would have lived up to the hype if they would have had all that they gave you and a new troop.
I still hate you.
Yes, well, yeah.
Well, the warden.
A lot of people
warden will even out things for like people like me, right? Who have 30 heroes who don't gem, who can't afford to gem it up. I bet Mert, you'd have played this game a whole lot differently if you knew there was a warden.
That's actually a topic I wanted to discuss because I just ran that poll. I just ran because I just hit 11 or 10, and I'm at an interesting crossroad of figuring out how my life is going to be as a Town Hall 10 because I've got that interesting perspective of seeing Town Hall 11 on the other side of it without being a Town Hall 10 before the update. So I'm actually thinking about just maxing my heroes and my camps and then just going to 11 and then getting the warden and then just spend all my time as an 11 with the warden and upgrade all the rest of my stuff from there just to get the extra benefit.
Yeah, it's the arranged wars. I mean,
wars.
Yeah,
but I don't mind being left out of arranged wars. Like that doesn't bother me. Usually arranged wars are on the weekend and I can't make them anyways.
No, yeah. If you don't care about arranged wars, that's definitely the way to go. If it wasn't for that, I would have done that as well. I was even throwing around the thought right now of just going to 11 and just getting the warden. But nobody's going to have me in an arranged war being
issue is
max 10 with the 11.
And also, Potter, did we not talk about this before we started recording tonight? About how you wouldn't put down the goddamn Infernos until you had max heroes, but you would jump to Town Hall 11 without putting down your Inferno towers?
Oh no, I would put the Infernos before I would go to Town Hall 11, but I'm not putting the Infernos on my map.
You would abandon all of your principles. You would basically just to stay at 10.
It's Town Hall 10. There are no principles anymore. Like it's the bastard stepchild of Clash.
It is. It absolutely is.
It's not that bad. I don't know.
Like Town Hall 9. Town Hall 9 was amazing. I love Town Hall 9. And Town Hall 11 looks so much fun. And Town Hall 10 just looks like this nightmare grind of bullshit.
See, for me, I don't want to go to Town Hall 11 because my problem is that it's not like, I don't know if it's maybe just like my clan, but it's not that impressive for 11s 2-starring 10s. Like, it's still a dip. Like, I mean, I know people are still figuring out, but it's not like as exciting. Like,
I just think it'd be fun. I mean, I know like in the Playing with Cock War, the guy that hit me, he was an 11, and that Hugh Hefner walk, I'm telling you, that is just one of the most gorgeous attacks where you've got that warden behind the queen, and I mean, he took out it was almost like a super queen, and I don't know, I just think that'd be really fun.
Man, if you could dial back, in that Playing with Cock War, I did a super queen on the Hugh Hefner walk and got slapped in the face.
Yeah, but I for me personally, I wouldn't get as much satisfaction out of it because I think that 10 is just starting to get balanced, especially with they made 9 a lot easier. So you're going to have a lot more 9 attacks left than you did in the past. So now you have these 9s to scout, and you have the extra 30 seconds and whatnot, the extra DE spell, and it's become like a lot more possible to 3-star. It's definitely still rare.
Yeah,
but...
it made it possible. It made it possible, but for me, I mean, I don't know. It's just I don't like that 5 or 10% triple ratio. I don't like that, and I'm not saying it needs to be like Town Hall 9 is now, or even what Town Hall 9 was pre-update. But if I don't know, I need more than what there is now.
I get it.
I mean, because I'm putting in the work. I mean, it's like there's no payback, and I understand if it is a step that helped you win the war, and it's
kind of to be expected. Like, especially when you don't have the 40-40 heroes. Like, if you're going up against a really good base, it's difficult for even 40-40. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's probably like you
but
say.
you gotta
if
practice
you had
too, Mert. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like when you see him like go in, if he doesn't hit it on the first one, he was trying. Like he had a plan.
Yeah. I don't know. Now I'm sitting here really because I've said this before, but I think that if they did add some more firepower to 10, I think it would be the most fun you'd ever have in this game. Being able to sit there and pick apart 10s like you used to at 9. I mean, it would be amazing. So I don't know. Now I'm
I don't think it'll ever be as easy.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll be ever
I'm fine with that.
Easy, but
I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be that easy. I mean, pre-update, my 3-star ratio on Town Hall 9s was ridiculous. I mean, but I don't want it to be that easy. But it needs to be a lot easier than what it is now. And they're talking about there's this Ice Mage troop that they're talking about. So if they had some sort of giant troop that had a freeze capability, I mean,
maybe
who knows what that could open
possible.
up.
Maybe balance means possible.
I don't want that. I want a little bit better than possible.
Human player, and you go, look, see this base. I'm going to try it, and even like it doesn't have to be superly crafted, right? Where like sometimes you got to allow for a little fuck up, and all of a sudden it happens because that's most of the war attacks that I actually get a 3-star. Yeah, it's like something accidentally happened instead of so precise. So I think it could get that way in this game.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time. Like nothing ever goes exactly as planned. Like typically stuff's always going a little bit different from the scout, especially if you're using 30-30s as scouts, because your queen's going to take out a little bit more, a little bit faster. It's going to change the timing on things, and so your wall breakers might break a different wall, or she's going to beat through a different wall because she takes out things in a different order. But yeah, sometimes you work out and it gets lucky, and it's like maybe because I have a different perspective because I never warred at Town Hall 9. So for me, I'm not used to 3-starring all the time. I don't expect that. I don't come, at Town Hall 10, like I don't have that expectation. So it's like when I do 3-star, it's like,
Question.
Yeah.
Question. TH9 says,
Answer.
I'm maxing out my walls. What do you think?
No, not if you plan on going to 10.
Yeah.
I've been preaching that for a long time. The issue is the weights in arranged wars. I preach that to people. Like some people are going to say max it, but if you plan on going to 10, don't max your walls. It's best to have half and half, lava and Lego, because what's going to happen is in arranged wars, you're going to be weighted higher. Like you're going to have level 1 infernos and be against someone that has like level 2 infernos and maybe all max air defenses, and they have lower walls. Like the difference of the walls is real. It's about 1 to 2K depending on how your walls are, and someone with half lava, half Lego is going to be much lower. So I recommend not even maxing your walls to all Lego to all lava. Sorry, I recommend not finishing all the lava walls until you have max Town Hall 10 defenses. Personally, for arranged war purposes, because your match is basically what's going to happen is your match on the opposite team is going to have higher defenses than you and lower walls, but you're still going to be easier to 3-star because you have level 1 infernos, or you have whatever's making you lower than them is going to make you more vulnerable.
Because
so
walls
that's
are
the way
irrelevant.
I see it.
Walls are really
walls are going to
irrelevant.
protect you.
I would just
They
like
are.
to take a second here to say I think I was right. Just so you know.
You did, yeah, you did say that a long time ago.
But yeah, walls at the high end of this game are almost irrelevant. I mean, the difference between Legos and lavas is what, 2 troop space to get, their Legos and lavas require 3 wall breakers to get through them at Town Hall 9. So
But here,
it doesn't matter. You're spending that $3 million, and all you're doing is you're adding weight to your base when it's still the same 3 wall breakers to get through it. So they're only really going to break 1 wall, and then they're going to use jumps or hogs or balloons and go right over the rest of everything. Or
that's why I recommend
quake
doing
spells.
your outer layer.
You can use 4 level 1 quake spells and take out a big chunk of magma walls. So it does, it's all irrelevant. Walls become completely irrelevant at 9 and 10.
Definitely, I agree.
Well, that preaching came before they added all the weight to the heroes and walls. That was when it was like, well, what do? Oh, you max your heroes and walls. That was like 5, 6 updates ago. And then everybody had the weight added, and they were like,
the algorithm and made the walls so heavy, now the walls are so much heavier than they ever were before. And I've literally seen people max their walls out. Some max Town Hall 9s will pull low weighted Town Hall 10s, and what do? Well, shit.
Do you
now I've got to deal with Infernos.
Like, if you see people with max walls, do you go, wait, I don't know if you're going to fit?
No, not at all. I don't judge people. We never say like, no, we don't want someone because of their walls, but it's definitely like, if you already have all lava walls, you're not going to want to do the 9.5 thing for very long, because you're not even going to want to do the low Town Hall 10 thing for very long. You're going to rush your defenses to max, because the issue is, like you say, I'll give you a specific example. We have an 82k weight Town Hall 10 with level 1 walls, 3 max air defenses, and the rest Town Hall 9 defenses. He has all lava walls and some magma, maybe like 50 or so magma, because that's what you did at 9.5. You use your gold and your elixir on the magma walls because you were waiting on your defenses. It's not the best idea, because like just 2 wars ago, he actually matched someone with level 2 Infernos, all max air defenses, and mostly level 12 archer towers. So that person was obviously very much more difficult to 3-star. And they had like mostly Lego walls and maybe like 100 lavas or so. So that's the difference.
Megan,
like,
who was
walls
it?
Are huge.
Who was it that when I was in Prime, there was somebody, like, both of us had our bases were the exact same weight, but I had max Town Hall 9 defenses, and he had max lava walls with like Town Hall 8 defenses.
Right. I don't remember exactly. I do remember that. I do remember
you and I started arguing with him, like, okay, whose base is actually harder to 3-star, Potter's base or your base? Because Potter has max defenses and you have max walls. Potter's harder to.
That guy was kind of a dick, because he was like teasing you. He was like teasing you about He was like teasing you about like your walls, and I was like, "Look at you! You have Town Hall 8 defenses. Like, that's like your walls aren't going to save
Ben.
you."
I don't. For some reason, I think it was Ben.
No, it wasn't Ben. I don't think it was Ben.
Ben
I don't
just
think they're
finished
still
his
here. Yeah, but
Yeah,
either way,
that clan that we matched, the one that we've talked about a couple of times, the one where they had like 27 Town Hall 10s to our like 7. And if that's what I remember, is they had like pink walls. This one, he was a max defense Town Hall 10, and he had all butter walls. And it was so funny because people were like laughing. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna wipe him out." I'm like, dude, he's got butter walls, but still, he's max defense. And I think we failed like 3 times before. This was a long time ago, but still, it was so funny. It was just funny to see a base that was max Town Hall 10 defense with those damn walls.
Crazy.
But that's how we matched them, because so many of us, many. I mean, they sucked, but I mean, they didn't do it on purpose. They weren't like trying to gain an advantage. But yeah, that's how we ended up matching them, because they just, all of them had so low walls, and we had so many max 9s at the point, and they weren't all. A lot of the lower 9s had lower defenses, but I think that's where a lot of those mismatches.
It's not as serious for like random searches, but my main thing is the arranged wars, because it's all about who you're going to match. And not that you're trying to stack the deck, but if your weight's in your walls, it's a disadvantage for your team. Basically, it's a huge disadvantage because obviously you're going to have this low target, and their lowest target is not going to be as easy, and so that's the main issue. So that's why, for Town Hall 9s that plan on going to 10, I do not recommend maxing your walls.
Because walls don't kill anything.
Mm-mm.
Right.
You want your
They
weight
have
in the
no
right
DPS.
places.
You guys can keep talking about this all day because I've been talking
I
about
know,
this for
right?
years.
So
Keep
Megan,
going,
okay,
keep
so I've
going.
got
Yeah,
a
I
question
love
for you,
it. I
Megan.
love it.
I've got a question for you, Megan. My buddy, he made the mistake of like super rushing his Town Hall 10, so he's got like 11, 10 heroes, and like over the past year, I've been like slowly trying to coach him into like, okay, upgrade this, upgrade this. I actually had you make a base for him one time, but he's a Town Hall 10. He's got like level 1 Expos, no Inferno Towers. He just started he maxed his Teslas. I was like, dude, max your Teslas. It's gonna fuck with people. Because all the rest of his stuff is like Town Hall 8, and every time he gets hit, these max Teslas pop out.
Yeah.
But I was at what point should I be like, okay, stop upgrading your walls? Because I think he's finally got everything purple. Do you think Skulls is a good stopping point for him, where he needs to start focusing more on upgrading defenses instead of
I think that he should
going
be
walls?
upgrading defenses like already. I think basically what I would do is, I would leave one builder open for walls and do the rest for defenses. So if he's farming enough gold to keep his builders busy, then he can easily use the rest on walls. I don't think there's any specific stopping point. I would just say, at about Lego, I think he could probably stop, but I wouldn't say to stop at Skull. Just because if he's getting that extra loot, like from farming that he's not able to use because his builders are busy and he's not going to gem the time, then I think he should definitely put him in his walls.
Yeah. Do you think there's a future of hogs at TH10?
Oh, there's already hogs at Town Hall 10 for sure. There's not many people doing it, but there's some really great people that, for example, Mang from Emphatic Elite. He has like 3 different accounts. It's like Mang, Dito, and What. And he typically brings a really similar comp that's like 3 golems, the king. He Zapquakes an Inferno Tower in order to queen charge like half of a Town Hall 10 base. And he's doing this on max Town Hall 10s, mind you. And he's bringing maybe like 1 rage for the queen, like maybe a jump for the king to get everything through. And he's bringing like 15 hogs. So basically it's a really well thought out ground attack, and it's very based on improvisation. So as soon as like a defense becomes distracted by the golems or the king or even the queen, he starts sending hogs in from the backside, or he starts, he even does this stuff with the wizards. He'll bring like 8 wizards or so to be able to snipe things out. And he usually gets
Double
extremely
advantage.
high percent or 3 stars. What's up?
Yeah, double advantage. Like that's what I do on Brittany. Like I keep coming, I plow through the backside just so I can like get the double advantage of like the heroes and everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well,
he's doing the queen charge on the one
that attack
side.
strategy. Did you? I don't know if you've seen any of the videos that One Hive Shadow has been putting out, but he's been doing that on the 11s. And then of course there's up there, but that's what he's been doing is the zap
nice.
the 1 Inferno. Yeah, he's been. I mean, some of the prettiest attacks that I've ever seen because they were on really strong 11s, if not max. And he was doing that exact same strategy, and it was amazing.
Wow, yeah, I haven't seen those, but I'll definitely have to look it up. It's definitely like it's people that are good with hogs and that are good with kind of like doing stuff on the fly. It's a great strategy for them, especially because you always get the 2-star, and if you don't get 3, like there's several times where you'll run out of time with a strategy like that. I think that's the main issue. But if you don't get 3, you're getting like an 80-something% 2-star. So it's not, it's not a bad attack, and typically you don't actually need a scout for it. So if you have those wars where you don't have scouts left over, or you don't have that option available, and you have a fresh base that needs to be hit, it's definitely something to try for. But for me personally, I'm that type of person that likes to have everything planned out, and I like to know, like, what I mean, I do some contingency planning, but
When do you guys think I should drop Infernos? So I want to wait until I have 40/40 heroes, but you guys are all 10s. What's your advice? Scotty, I know you say drop them now.
honestly, I say when you have that gold left over and you don't have, once you get your new defenses up to Town Hall 9 level, once you get the traps up, I think at that point it's time to go ahead and do it. 9.5 is not really a thing anymore. It used to be. It's not really very popular anymore. So,
Potter, is there anything else you want to get to like tonight? Because we got to Houston Live.
No. I mean, we've hit a bunch of different topics. We've kind of been all over the board, but
Hey, I want to thank you guys for being here. Megan and Potter, Lethal, of course.
Yeah, glad we had you guys on. Great.
yeah, great. It's fun. We can do it again sometime.
We actually have to get off the air just so we can get all the secrets. Really fantastic. Thanks for being here. You guys have any shout outs you want to give? I mean,
still recruiting for One Hive and One Hive Prime, of course. We have our website, our new website that we got. Just keep applying. We're definitely looking.
So you're recruiting for One Hive Prime.
Yep.
What does that mean? Like, if you are
One
TH
Hive Prime is
8, 9?
Oh no,
10?
we're only accepting 9s, 10s, and 11s at this time. We're especially in the market for low weight 9s. Anywhere from 64 to about 68K. We don't have a lot, so we're for a range war purposes.
If a person does not know their war weight, how would they check?
Okay. So just go to the last war that you were in, and go to scout your base and find out how much gold is in one of the gold storages and multiply that by 5. But you can't do it on prep day. Like, you can't go to your prep day map and see how much is in there. It has to be either on battle day or on a previous war that already ended.
Why is that? It changes. So go to the
on
war
prep day. On prep day, the amount of gold that's in your storages on prep day is the amount of gold that's in your storages in your farming base.
Right.
So that's not your war weight. But if, like, on war day, it's the value of your base if you were hit by an equal town hall level.
Does anybody ever wonder why Supercell does that? Like, why they put that in the game?
I don't know, but I do wish that was the way the cup system worked.
What do you mean?
I wish your base was where it's worth a certain number of cups, period. Like, it doesn't matter what level you're at. It matters how far you've upgraded, and that's what your base is worth when somebody hits you.
It should be. Yeah, it makes more sense.
Wow.
Like the difficulty of the base.
So, like, every fully maxed Town Hall 10 base would be worth, like, 25, 30 cups or whatever. All of them. Whether they're in gold, silver, or fucking Titan. I wish every single base was worth the same. Because I hate finding Town Hall 9s or getting hit by, like, a Town Hall 10 in a lower league, and I'm worth, like, 42 cups to that bastard because he's cheap and he's playing in Crystal.
Yeah. I didn't think about that.
But we're also recruiting for Town Hall 10s and 11s, of course, as well. Just it doesn't hurt to apply. We usually get back to people within a couple days. Oh, in a Town Hall 11, we just don't have a lot currently right now. We have 1 in Prime, and we've only got 2 in the main clan. So, we're definitely in the market for more because it's with the arranged matchups, it's a lot of clans have more Town Hall 11, so to be able to match everybody.
Yeah, we're still heavy as always.
Yeah, we're pretty heavy with 10s, and we have a lot of people that just went to Town Hall 10, but we have some people that are planning on going to 11. They're quickly maxing out their 10s. They're planning on going to 11. So we'll see like where that takes us. But right now we recruit everyone. We've got the space. Prime is basically just an extension of the main clan at this point. people are used interchangeably for arranged wars. If you're in Prime, it is likely that you will be in an arranged war in the main clan. And then, of course, Prime does its own arranged wars that I handle, every Sunday. So there's a chance you can do 2 arranged wars per week if you're into that kind of thing. A lot of people prefer just one, which is fine.
Get a hold of Potter at.
Oh yeah, you guys can get a hold of me on Twitter at Potter Pyrate, spelled with a Y, not an I. Also you can follow me at HoustonLive 1. That's the official Twitter account for the Houston Live event, and you can catch updates on when we'll be doing the next probably Texas event. It sounds like we won't be doing another one in Houston anytime soon, but we will be running one probably in Austin or Dallas. Also, if you have interest in the Houston Live, you can join our Bindle chat, #HoustonLive. I pretty much let anybody in there, and if you're interested in participating in the war, we can add you to the group me, or you can just get in there and talk with people who have been a part of the Houston Live event.
Megan.
I don't do the Twittering or anything. I guess I do have a YouTube channel. It's not really user friendly. It's really just attacks. There's no commentary. There's no music or anything. It's just basically attacks. I use it kind of more as my own personal archive to learn from and go back and watch. Yeah. But it's mostly Town Hall 10 and 11 centered. But if y'all are in the market for seeing more Town Hall 10 and 11 attacks, it's worth checking out. It's just Megan Mo Money on YouTube.
All right, everybody. We'll keep it clashy.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. See ya.
Thanks.
Skilly beep 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 skilly beep.